Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you all for being with us today. This video is a video within the series of Adapting to a Virtual Classroom, work offered by ASU Mina Famer Regional Institute. You can see the link to our webpage. We do not have a www before our URL, so do visit our website. Today we will be speaking about something within the scope of digitizing your classroom and how to make that a little bit more interactive. We will be speaking about the 1-minute paper. So the 1-minute paper is a tool that we have been trying to introduce into our classrooms in general. Most of us are doing it. We are using the 1-minute paper for many functions. What is it? It's something that you can use as an assessment tool. It looks pretty much like this, as you can see on the screen. This is a sample paper on the screen here. The 1-minute paper, commonly used as an assessment tool, but if you ask the student to generate a question by the end of the 1-minute paper, this becomes a little bit more than just an assessment tool. It becomes an integrative task where students have to reassess the knowledge, prioritize them, and then come out with a question that they have to add to the end of their paper. So it can work as both assessment, integrative. Why do we do it? It's clear. It takes only 1 minute, by the way, just 1 minute. And in this minute, you get feedback from your students. You understand, you get a better understanding of what they know now and what they don't know. It helps you replan the rest of your session if you're doing it in the middle of the session. It helps you replan your coming sessions if you're doing it at the end of the session. And of course, you might want to probe students to reflect on the learning and look for highlights of the day. And this helps them integrate their learning. So this is quite an adaptable tool. That's why it's easy to use. And guess what? An average professor can actually look at 4 1-minute papers in 1 minute. That's when it is in paper form. So you can now guess, it will be even easier when it goes to a virtual form. How do you do it? It's easy. What you can see on the screen here is what we have adapted to show you what a 1-minute paper might look like. As you can see, it's 2 to 3 questions. And these are samples of the questions. So for example, you might be asking them, what are the most significant, essential, the useful, the meaningful, surprising, disturbing, whatever it is you want to ask the student. Ask them, what question remains at the top of their mind? And ask them as well, is there anything that they have not understood? So this is what an average 1-minute paper would look like. Easy to make? So guess what? When we go virtual, it becomes even easier because all you have to give to the students is a link instead of a piece of paper. And you have to wait for their responses, and you can get it timely. You can get it on your phone, you can get it on the laptop, but at the end of the day, you will get the results analyzed as you speak. Want to see what this looks like? Stay tuned. In a minute, we will show you what this should be looking like when you are preparing it for the virtual classroom. So this is a 1-minute paper that we have created on Google Form. For more information on how to create Google Forms, there is another video inside this playlist that shows you how exactly to work with Google Form to create a what do you call it? A Google form. Okay, so this is a 1-minute paper that we have created. As you can see, the same 3 questions that you just saw earlier, they are on the Google form. I have 3 students who have responded, so I opened the responses to take a look at the responses, and this is what the responses look like. It tells me that for the first question, when you ask students what was the most important thing that you learned, students highlighted these sets of things. Can you see them? Some students said cell structure, some students said forensics, whatever it is that students answered. You can see that these are 3 students that answered. This is the first, this is the second, and this is the third. You want to see them cumulatively so you know that students have learned these things very well. What about the second question? When you ask them, what questions remain on the top of your mind? These are the three highlights. Each of the students highlighted something that resonated with them in the lecture. But the most beautiful thing is the answer for the third question. When you ask them, what is it that you didn't understand? I can see here from the form that two students, can you see the number two, have not understood, for example, DNA, and one student has not understood cell wall. So now you know what to prioritize. You need to go over DNA first and then go over cell wall. And maybe if I have 100 students responding to this, I'll get so many bars. So I understand what is it exactly that hit the students hard in the lecture that I just gave, and start with that. So can you see how useful this tool is? You can do it timely. By the way, I received these responses as we were speaking right now. So maybe you can make use of those as well in redesigning your lecture. Having done this virtually, as you know, through Google Forms, as we have just said, and received the results, received the analysis of the results, received everything visually so we can see it and plan and use very easily, you can now do this in virtual form easier than ever. And guess what? You can even do that when you're in the classroom face to face. So this is something that you can use both ways. Please do not forget to visit our website. Today we spoke about 1 minute paper. Please find everything you need on our YouTube channel, subscribe to that, and do visit our website for further information on what we do. Thank you so much for being with us today. Hopefully this was of use to you. Please subscribe. Please share the video if you think that it's useful to others.